I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
Absolutely. This is great. It is great to see. So, all right, well, let's jump into some of the reactions here right away. I mean, guys, Christian Pulisic, what a night for the American Wonder Kid, Wonder Man at this point. Bleacher Football, BR Football tweeting, 20th minute, Pulisic scores his first Chelsea goal. 22nd minute, draws a penalty for Chelsea. And 28th minute, scores his second Chelsea goal. Christian Pulisic, emoji, flex emoji. So, Dan, Frank Lampard couldn't even be bothered to talk about him because it was such a disappointment for him.
Oh, no. He gave paragraphs. He gave paragraphs of content, not just a sentence. He went on. He said Pulisic showed his quality. I love the nature of his goals where he has an intention to run behind the line, which he did really, really well, and not come short, added Lampard, and the finishing was good. It is what he's going to have to do because he's going to play in the Premier League and the Champions League. This is the top end. A winger has to have the desire not just to be tidy, but to be getting behind people. And then with his quality, he can really be a big player for us. He is a big signing with big potential, but the big question is he has to adapt to a different league. But I've already seen a good attitude and a willingness to listen to information. He is 20 years of age, so we have to remember he is young. I am happy to work with him. I want to improve him. Oh, it's the tingles, Nick. It is the tingles to hear Frank Lampard talk about Christian Pulisic in this preseason game and the performance he had.
Yeah, the thing you don't have to worry about with Frank Lampard is that he's always going to say the right thing. And in this instance, after the performance that Christian Pulisic put in, you are more inclined to believe it, than just hear some lip service. And I think there is a huge potential for Pulisic, if he plays like he did today, to really be big for us. I mean, here the difference between Pulisic, Willian, even Callum Hudson-Odoi at times last year, is that Pulisic is willing to not only ride the shoulder of the last defender, but then make the quick twitch move, Brandon, to get in behind when the ball is played perfectly. And boy, did he have a couple of passes to get on the end of today.
He sure did. It was dynamic today too. Like I said, you got to see a few different takes from Christian, which I think is really important, right? He's not going to be a one-trick pony. He's going to be versatile. He's going to be able to pick his head up, find a cross. He's going to be able to make runs in behind defenders. I think that's the best thing. When you see him constantly splitting center backs across their back shoulders so they didn't even see it coming, just his awareness to find space, it was great. But you also have to, give huge credit. I mean, how many times do you see runs like that made in a match, but they're not found, right? They're not picked up. So credit to Pedro, credit to Barkley, for having their head up and able to deliver such a great ball. And I was retweeting the goals and adding some commentary today. I was so impressed with, his first goal, right? He cut it back, let the defenders run past him. He got a space, shot through the legs and in. Then the second time, he continued his momentum, cut across the defender, made the defender essentially decide, do I slow down and let him go, or do I foul him? Potential red card, penalty situation, whatever it is. Just his awareness in those situations I thought was so fantastic to see today. So honestly, it was all around. I think so. Today was the first day where I actually kind of let myself go, holy shit, I'm really excited. Like, you're always kind of excited and you're like, yeah, I hope he does well. But today I'm like, I was reposting everything I could on Instagram that had Christian Pulisic on it. Like, I finally realized that, like, I'm super hyped for him and I can't wait. So Pulisic kit is in the mail. You can count on it.
Well, it's cool, Dan, though, because for us, it's not only, that we have an American to root for, which is nice, but it's great that the goals weren't bungled off of his knee or misdirected headers that deflected off of someone's face. Like, these were quality goals by a quality player, and I think that's what's exciting is, like, not only is he going to have to earn it this year, but he's going to have to show every bit of the quality that he has.
Oh, yeah. And again, this is a preseason friendly against actually a team, though, that actually has already started their season. So they actually should be in the right level of fitness to defend or put together a comprehensive match against Chelsea. But the intention that Pulisic has both on the offense and the defense, I think actually today you saw a lot of what he can do as a defender when he goes in and actually disrupts the passing lane with the pressing he's able to offer. So not only did we get a really great offensive performance from Christian Pulisic and had that opportunity, again, we are American Chelsea fans. It's very obvious when you listen to us, and we're just excited, right? And getting the opportunity to feel that excitement, to be very honest about that today, wanting people to potentially see things for themselves and not overhype Christian before he came to the club. We've been very, I think, almost have downplayed to an extent, Brandon, what Christian could bring to this side because we didn't want to get everybody's hopes up and kind of build this false narrative around what Christian's going to do. To Nick's point, he's young still. To Frank's point, he's got to improve in a lot of ways still. But man, I was jazzed, and I was able to bring people into the conversation at work today. Say, hey, this is our American star right here, and this is what he's going to do, and hopefully have made a few people Chelsea fans today.
Yeah. Well, guess what? The hype is real. Okay, so I'm trying to find Sujin's tweets from today from the LA Blues. She was on fire, and it was so hilarious. It's something. Oh yeah, she's essentially like, I will fight anyone. I was like, here we go. Like, Pulisic, this is it. And she goes, I know it's preseason. I don't care. Let's go. Like, it's just, and I think this really flipped the switch for a lot of us in America. And I tell you what, like, international fans, UK fans, like, get ready. It's going to be a long season of us just hyping him up, so excited. But the good news is, everyone else gets to see just how good he is, right? He plays on the U.S. men's national team. We get to see him as much as anyone else. But now he's put on the world stage. Not that he wasn't with Dortmund, no offense to them or anything. It's just different. And he's on our team, Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool to see. I will repeat this until the day I die. I saw him score his first international goal with the U.S. In Kansas City, and I was front row for that. And that was when he was 17, which, he's all of 20 now, so he's a grown man by all accounts. So
he's got tattoos. Yeah,
everyone does. I love I am happy to work with him. I want to improve him quote from Lampard. The thing that Christian, I think, is really going to find incredible about Chelsea is that the standard, no matter if we have a transfer ban, no matter if things are not going our way, you can ask a lot of people who didn't make it at Chelsea. The standard doesn't drop. The standard is trophies. The standard is winning. And if you're Christian and you are excited about improving as a player, Frank Lampard, Jody Morris, Joe Edwards, that's a pretty nice crew to have around you to look at your development, figure out where you really need to hone in, what is a multi-year project and what is a now project, and just have those guys really, really work with him, I think is going to be incredible. And then we get a benefit as national team fans because he's going to come back a rock star and be at a different level. So just keep working, Christian. Just please keep working.
I think it's a safe bet. I don't think we have any concerns that he's not putting in the work. Dan, I guess just from your kind of perspective to wrap on it a little bit, I got the chills watching him jump up and celebrate with Aspi and Pedro, and just also seeing how much his teammates, a couple of veterans, right, have embraced him. And that's a really important thing. When Christian came to Chelsea, he talked about how important it was to come to a country where he spoke the language and could be able to communicate with everyone. He's only been there, a little over 2 weeks essentially, to see the pure joy and passion from Captain Aspi and the man who's won it all, Pedro. To me, like, that gave me the chills. Like, it was really special. I'm sure that is huge for Christian and him settling into this team.
Well, it's not even that, right? You also saw Tammy Abraham putting Christian Pulisic in his Instagram story when they were watching the Fortnite World Championship together, maybe thinking, man, maybe it's time for a career move. They're making, $3.5 million for winning the tournament.
A weekend.
Yeah, jeez. No, I mean, it's clear that the culture of the club, the way that, again, we are not inside, right? We are looking at the outside, at least what's being projected from players, which is a little bit more unfiltered, and from the club itself with the more polished and productive media. All of it is very telling the same story, though, that this is a place where players want to be right now. This is why Mason Mount signed an extension. This is why we saw Ruben sign an extension. This is why Callum Hudson-Odoi looks likely to sign his extension. These are all things that happen because the culture top to bottom has improved from where it was multiple months ago. And it's improved among the fan base too. So it's just a really good time. It's a really good time to be a Chelsea player. It's a really good time to be a Chelsea supporter. And man, if I were another club and I saw all this positivity and excitement coming out, I would think we're crazy, right? Because it's transfer ban, couldn't sign any players, lost Eden Hazard. But you know what? Like, crazy Chelsea sometimes goes and does crazy things like a double. And who knows? Maybe. Why not?
Crazy Uncle Chelsea. Just always doing weird stuff, but somehow comes out on top,
I honestly, that's such a good point, too. Of, Chelsea has every reason to be down on ourselves, to hate the upcoming season. I can't remember a time where people have been more excited than this season. So I'm ecstatic. People are happily counting down the beginning of the Premier League season, and I was the biggest naysayer, doomsday clock holder a couple months ago, and it's absolutely flipped the script. The club,
still am.
I hear you, but the club, I think, have handled it so well. And if we're being honest, probably better than what we ever would have expected. So well done to them. Obviously, a lot more to go.